We all love a legendary comeback, and Degree Original Cool Rush is back and better than ever. Cool Rush isn't just a scent, it's a movement, a fan favorite that delivers bold, fresh vibes and all-day sweat protection. Whether you have a man that spends hours in the gym, heads into the office early, or is just trying to stay fresh on a long day, Cool Rush has their back. Head to your local Walmart or Target and grab Degree Cool Rush, the fan favorite scent from the world's #1 antiperspirant brand.
I turned off news altogether.
I hate to say it, but I don't trust much of anything.
It's the rage bait.
It feels like it's trying to divide people.
If we got clear facts, maybe we can calm down a little.
NBC News brings you clear reporting. Let's meet at the facts. Let's move forward from there. NBC News, reporting for America.
As moms, we often wonder, am I doing enough for my kids? I'm here to tell you, you are Super Mama. That's because we have an undeniable superpower, our intuition, and it never steers us wrong. I call it our mom sense. Hi, I'm Kanika Chadda Gupta, and I'm the host of That's Total Mom Sense. I'm a journalist, entrepreneur, wife, and mom of 3, twins plus 1. Now, if I had $1 every time I heard, gee, you have your hands full. On my podcast, I interview influential moms from various industries and cover topics that all first-time parents grapple with, from getting your baby to sleep to screen time allowance, your new normal in your marriage, and how to dedicate time to yourself. Learn and laugh along with That's Total Mom Sense. If you have teenage boys, this episode is for you. I am delighted to have one of the co-founders of Stryke Club here with me today. Between the 4 founders, they have 4 boys. And as their boys have been getting older, they realized that they were buying acne products aimed at girls. So they decided to come together and fill this gap in the skincare market. Stryke Club is a one-of-a-kind product line made specifically for today's teenage boy. Designed for the busy teen boy who's ready for a lesson in self-care, the brand is set to revolutionize the beauty industry thanks to its unique, meticulous, and effective combination of clean ingredients. Comprised of 3 core products and formulated over 2 years with the help from a board-certified pediatric dermatologist, the skincare system promotes clear skin, confidence, and mindful grooming habits for life. Today, we're going to talk to Stacy Blackman. Stacy earned her BS in economics from Wharton at UPenn and her MBA from the Kellogg Graduate School of Management at Northwestern University. After graduating from Wharton, Stacy began working in private equity at the Prudential Capital Group in San Francisco. Following business school, she founded and sold her first company, webwisher.com. During this time, Fortune magazine chronicled Stacy's career for a span of nearly 2 years, running stories about her in several issues and featuring her on the cover in May of 2000. WebWisher is now part of The Knot, a publicly traded company. Following that, Stacy founded Stacy Blackman Consulting, SBC, the leading admissions consulting firm. SBC has now placed thousands of clients in every top MBA program in the world. The company also has a popular video series, runs workshops, and has a publishing division. Stacy was elected for 2 terms to the board of directors of AIGAC, the Association of International Graduate Admissions Consultants, and has a published book, The MBA Application Roadmap. In 2019, Stacy founded Stryke Club to fill a void in skincare and grooming for teenage boys. She lives in Los Angeles with her husband and 3 children. Stacy, welcome to That's Total Mom Sense.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to chat with you.
Me too. So first and foremost, tell us a little bit about you and your founders and how you found each other.
Yes, I live in Los Angeles with my 3 kids, and I am a bit of a serial entrepreneur. This is my 3rd company, and I love seizing upon opportunities and executing and growing companies from scratch. My very best friend from growing up is Nicole. She also lives in Los Angeles, and she has 4 children. And the 2 of us were talking about how our girls bathrooms were overflowing with skincare and beauty products, and our boys really had nothing. We saw an opportunity to create something great for the boys. And so I took the idea to my other friend, Darcy. Darcy is a consumer packaged goods genius. She has worked with tons of brands that I'm sure most people know, including Yes2, Method. She was one of the founding members of Ollie, which recently sold. She was their chief marketing officer. So she loved the idea and decided to do it with us. And then we all approached Sheila, who is our fourth partner, and she is a board-certified pediatric dermatologist with a busy practice in Minneapolis. She has 2 boys of her own and loved the idea, and she has a wait list for her practice that's close to a year, and she was excited to create products that she knew would work and bring them to a broader audience. So we're sort of a very diverse team that checks all the boxes that we felt that we needed for launching this brand.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about the backstory and how you had this need that you wanted to just fulfill for your young boys.
I have a 17-year-old son and 2 younger daughters. And when he started to get a few pimples and we'd go and look for products, there was just nothing for him. He was either borrowing from his sisters, or using things that were really actually outdated, very medicinal. They were drying. There just wasn't something that he could be excited about using. And so, to be honest, he kind of used nothing. Like for the first 14 years of his life, I really don't know if he washed his face.
Right.
So, we saw this opportunity. We really felt like amongst our 4 founders, we have 4 boys and 7 girls. But, we felt like our boys just deserve better. They deserve something that works, that's created just for them, that's simple and streamlined and effective. We wanted to create something better for them.
Makes sense. I love it. With competitors like Oxy, Clearasil, and Proactive on the market, what do you believe sets Stryke Club apart?
So the brands that you mentioned were actually all created in the 80s, and they literally have not been updated since then. So the ingredients, I think all of the ones that you mentioned, the common ingredient is benzoyl peroxide, which can be effective, but it can be really drying and irritating for a young boy's skin, especially a boy who may start shaving and then there's chafing against the irritation. So boys do have a unique set of challenges with their skin. A lot of those products also have a bit of a zit cream stigma that can make it embarrassing for the boys to use. And my partner, who's a pediatric dermatologist, has utilized a different ingredient in her practice for the past decade. And she's been really amazed just by the effectiveness, and she wanted to make it widely available. So our products leverage sodium hypochlorite, which is soothing and mild and clean. It's approved by the Environmental Working Group, and it's effective against acne and eczema and folliculitis. And so, we're infusing it into right now our body wash and our face wash and more products to come. I would say the other difference is that we have branded our products to be for boys. And what we're finding is that rather than being embarrassing, these products are now becoming a point of pride in a boy's routine. And we call that locker room worthy, that they're not embarrassed to take it out of their gym bag and use in front of their friends. It's a cool thing, which taking care of yourself should not be embarrassing. It should be something that you're proud of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about the formulations?
Yeah, so many of the products out there actually are based on the same active ingredient, and they're actually created from the exact same general recipe in skincare language, which I've quickly had to come up to speed on. It's called the monograph. So they're all using the same monograph for their formulas. We actually created our formulas from scratch, tested it, tried it out. We've been using them for over a year now, and manufactured them in the US at a lab. So Sheila, our dermatologist, has been working with the labs and working on developing them and experimenting with the ingredients and the scent. So they leverage the sodium hypochlorite, which also acts as a preservative. So there's no need for added preservatives or extra ingredients. And so, they're either unscented or minimally scented. They're clean and simple. And again, they're effective against acne on the face and body and eczema and general inflammation.
Right. Okay. They don't have any of the other acids like AHAs or salicylic or...
Yeah, they're completely clean. They're cruelty-free. Our portable Stryke stick, which is kind of the zit stick, does have salicylic acid in it, which can be effective against acne. But the other things that you mentioned, no, we don't have.
Okay. Yeah, great. Mm-hmm. And so it's free of parabens, phthalates, all of the, toxic stuff.
Yes. Yes, completely.
That's great. And I think that that's something that, as moms, we're hyper aware of. As soon as, we're pregnant, I feel many of us make that shift in our skincare and with our makeup, our shampoos. We just want to kind of make that shift to go all natural. And then it's something that carries us through the rest of adulthood. We're like, okay, I know personally, I feel like after I made those changes, I didn't want to go back to all of the brands that I was using that did have, harmful ingredients. And it's great to see that you've started a philosophy like this for boys as well, to be mindful of the ingredients that they're using on a daily basis, especially on your largest organ.
Absolutely. We did not want to be slathering these young boys in chemicals, and it's just not necessary. So, and we are finding, the moms, because the moms are the ones who are actually purchasing our product, they do exactly what you said. They care about ingredients a lot. Actually even more than I would have thought. And we get questions, very, very informed, detailed questions about our ingredients constantly. That's kind of the biggest bucket of questions that we get. So our consumers, they're smart and they're informed and they know what they want. And we believe we're providing it.
Yes. And then you've tested them and found that they're just as efficacious.
Yep. They are effective. The kids are using it. Mm-hmm. So that's the first step. And then they are effectively clearing up their face. Really, we turned on comments on our website about 3 weeks ago, and we are filling up with really positive reviews. So that's been super exciting to see.
Wow. Amazing. I love the names, firstly. There's one product called Face First, which is the power wash, and then the Everywhere wash, which I'm assuming is more of a body wash, and then the Stryke stick. These all sound really catchy and you're just targeting the market in such a compelling way.
Thank you. Yeah, we love our branding and we love our packaging. It looks great on the counter. And, the thinking behind the products is that boys aren't going to do a 10-step routine. Let's be really smart and intentional about developing each step of this routine. So if you have the boy who just can't be bothered to wash his face at the sink, fine. We have the Everywhere wash. Put it in the shower. They can wash themselves literally head to toe and get a good acne fighting, inflammation fighting wash. So
right.
It's right now we have 3 products. We have more in development, but each one is really, we're being thoughtful about keeping it simple and streamlined.
Yes. I know you mentioned that you have, your pediatric dermatologist in the team. Would she advise using the Stryke Club's products with any prescriptions, like a deoxycycline, tetracycline, or Accutane, or no, not at all?
Yeah. So that is a question that comes up a lot. And yes, that's something that's so great about our cleansers, that they are mild enough that if you have cystic acne or if you're scarring and you need a much more aggressive treatment, like something like Accutane, where you're going to be doing blood tests and you need to stay out of the sun. And these are serious drugs. You can use our cleansers with it and they will, they can be used synergistically and they'll be effective and soothing. So we do recommend, if you need to step it up and you need a dermatologist's prescription, you can still use our washes.
That is brilliant. And so can girls, teenage girls also use the product?
Yes, they can. In fact, all of our founders and our families have been using the products for over a year on face and body, and we're all obsessed. So my husband is constantly hitting me up. Do I have any bottles that maybe the label's a little torn that he can steal and take for the shower? And yes, girls too. So I have 2 daughters, and we actually have more daughters in our founder brood than sons, and they all really like the products. So
that is great. What are the scents like?
So we have found that boys do not want heavily scented products. So our face wash is actually unscented. And then our body wash, our everywhere wash is it's a Pacific scent. So it's sort of a light, beachy, fresh scent. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm. For parents with teenage boys, how can we help them through battling acne and actually have those conversations?
So we certainly want to let our boys know that this too shall pass, but acknowledge the frustration that can accompany the blemishes, and, giving them an effective toolkit that's made just for them to fight the acne can go a long way. Acne affects self-esteem and self-confidence. And the issue is that boys may have a really hard time expressing this. One of our founders is a psychologist. She actually had the initial brainstorm with me for Stryke Club, as she could see in her practice that with the selfie generation, boys were becoming more and more upset and self-conscious about acne. On the one hand, they're feeling upset about it. On the other hand, many boys are groomed to believe that caring about appearance and engaging in self-care just isn't cool. So it's a double-edged sword, right? They're expected to look good, but they can't be seen as trying to look good or caring about looking good. So we really hope to change that conversation and to give boys the tools that they need and want to care for themselves, and to empower them to know that self-care is cool and it is important.
Yeah. And do you have any advice on how parents can talk to their sons about it?
Yeah, I would say that even a boy without pimples, washing your face is good. Just like before you have cavities, brushing your teeth is a good thing to do. It's just very, very simple steps of self-care. So it doesn't even need to be about, ooh, you have a problem with your face, let's fix it. It can just be like, let's empower you to take care of yourself. Here's deodorant, here's dental floss, and here's a face wash.
Exactly. I love that. It's so simple. Now I'd love to just kind of do a deep dive into your entrepreneurial journey, because this isn't your first rodeo and it is so different from the other companies that you've launched. What has that been like?
So it's funny. I think I forgot how hard it is to start a company. It's really, really hard to start something from scratch. Fortunately for this company, I've got a dermatologist on my team, and we're making skincare. I've got someone who is really, really experienced in consumer packaged goods, and that's what we're doing. And yet it's really hard. And we jumped in without much of a roadmap and just have put one foot in front of the other, trying to break through and make progress. And it's everything from how do we find a chemist to create our products? We go online, we Google, we talk to 50 chemists. How do we find the right manufacturer? We've had crazy hiccups with our manufacturing and our logistics, and you become a really good and efficient problem solver. I've had to learn about the skincare industry and the different categories and the FDA and all of these things. It's just kind of a working knowledge. And I think one of the biggest tools in my toolkit is just knowing that I can do these hard things and I can learn these hard things. And I just need to take the steps actually before I feel really ready. I always say, if you sit around waiting for enough knowledge, money, resources, time, you will never get started. So for us, it's just been a journey of taking the leap, believing in ourselves, and really supporting each other. We all have down days where it's too hard, or we're not motivated, or we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But thankfully, we have each other. So we pick each other up. We have fun together. We work hard together. We're supportive. It's actually been really great, because my company before this, it was just me. That was hard in some ways. I've now made it through and I've built a great team. We would not be where we are today if we didn't have that extended team.
Yes, absolutely. And so now where is Stryke Club available?
So at the moment, we are only available on strikeclub.com.
Mm-hmm.
That will be changing in the near future, but right now it's just our website.
Yes, absolutely. And is everything made in the USA?
Running a business comes with a lot of what ifs, but luckily there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Hi, it's Eva Longoria, and let's be real. After 40, we should ask for more from our skincare. I swear by Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. With vitamin C, pro-retinol, and hyaluronic acid, it reduces my wrinkles, firms, and brightens. And it's not a procedure. It's just a hardworking moisturizer.
Revitalift Triple Power Moisturizer by L'Oreal Paris. Grab it today in fragrance-free or with SPF 30. Available at your local Walmart.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Our products everything's done in the US.
Stacy, tell us about your motherhood journey.
So when my son was born 17 plus years ago, I had already launched my second company and was doing everything. I was wearing all the hats. It was my consulting company. I was doing consulting and sales and all the admin and writing and marketing. What happened is I had him and then I had subsequent children. It really forced the company to grow up. So I found once he was born, I had less time and I started to bring in other consultants to help me with the work. So I really grew my team. Now it's over 100 consultants. And then my second child, my daughter, was born. I had even less time. And so I brought in salespeople to help with the sales aspect of it and some writers to work on my newsletter and my blogs. And I started my publishing arm. So they were all helping out with that. And then when my third was born, my youngest, who's now 10, I sort of grew up in terms of the administrative stuff and the accounting and the legal and sort of all the processes. So through each kid, it forced me to outsource and rely on the strengths of a really great team because I knew that I wanted to be a certain type of mom who showed up as room mom and went to all the sports and all of that. So, in order to juggle being that mom, being the type of mom I knew I wanted to be with continuing to grow my business and be challenged by it and to help more people and expand our reach, I couldn't do it all myself.
Right. Absolutely. No, that makes so much sense. And the fact that you were involved in their lives while building so many ventures is so commendable.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. I think for me, it was something I needed to do something else in addition to being a mom. So it kind of made me a better business person and a better mom having that balance.
Yes. And, I know you're interacting with parents all the time because of Stryke Club, but you're doing so as well with placing, clients in top MBA programs in a way for those who are, might be going right after undergrad. So tell us a little bit about that line of work.
Yeah, that's interesting because we're helping people, on the cusp of adulthood. Sometimes the parents are involved, sometimes they're not. It's been interesting as a parent to see some parent involvement and see like the micromanagement that a lot of parents have in their 20-something kids' lives. It's sort of helped me to reflect on the type of parent that I want to be and how involved I would want to be at that stage. What's been really amazing about the consulting work is meeting, the most incredible people and learning that everyone, even you might think of your typical Joe MBA, they all have kind of done the same things. They all have really unique stories. So it's been so interesting and exciting to learn these people's really personal stories and then to help them do something really meaningful. At the time that they're applying to their MBA programs, this is like the single most important thing in their life. They really see their entire future and all of their aspirations hinging on this. So to be part of that point in their lives and to help them reach these very ambitious goals is super meaningful. And that's what has made me excited about the company and the work for so long.
Yes, absolutely. And what are some of your tips on, landing that ideal MBA program?
So I think in general, as you're thinking about your career, a lot of people ask for very specific tips, like, should I get job A or job B? Or, who should write my recommendation? Like, should it be the president or the CEO? It's really about you doing things that you're passionate about, that are meaningful to you and allow you to thrive and to show yourself. So there's no specific concrete path. It's really about doing the things that excite you and allow you to, do your best and be the very best in what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. And how have you used that to kind of navigate your career and life?
I had started my consulting business before any of them were born. I mean, a little bit before. And by the time any of them were conscious, it was kind of a fully baked company that was just part of my identity, that they knew me as someone who did that. But now when I launched Stryke Club, my kids were maybe 9, 13, and 16. And they saw me come to the dinner table one night and say, I have this crazy idea, and run it past my son. What do you think? And making him smell our formulas and making him test things. I mean, they've really seen me in the weeds. They see me sitting in my office for hours packing up boxes. They hear me upset when things are going wrong. So I think that's been really a good thing for them to see, that I just had this idea. My son even said, Mom, I didn't really think you were going to do this. Like, I'm happy, Mom, you made it happen. Like, this is a real company now. So I think that one they've really seen. And of course, we're still very new and growing, but they saw me say, I have this funny idea. And now I have boxes and boxes being packed up with products and sent to people all over the US. So if nothing else, that's been a nice story.
Yes, absolutely. What are some of your trade secrets, if you will, as, an entrepreneurial mom?
One of the things that allows me to juggle many things is that I truly don't attempt to do everything. So I have very clear priorities. I know what I want to show up for as a mom. And I also know the things that I'm not willing to spend my time on right now. And I guess the same goes for business. I have no problem outsourcing things, both personally and in business, if it allows me to engage with the things that are most important to me. So I feel like, I say in quotes, I do it all, and that I'm doing work and family, but I don't try to do everything in both of those realms.
Yes. Yeah. No, and I think that's so important. It's like you've realized, where is your value add? And we only have 24 hours in the day. And if there's something that you can delegate for a team member or, personally, someone else to handle, then you do, because you really want to squarely focus on what only you as Stacy can do.
Exactly.
What have, your children taught you?
Well, I think that to be present in the moment and to appreciate the little things. I think we're all really familiar with the idea of, it's our kid's birthday party and we plan it in every detail and we know exactly how we want it to unfold, and it unfolds with our kid hysterically crying and sugar overload and everything's a disaster. So I've kind of learned to let go of the expectations that I might attach to a perfect family scenario or a perfect conversation with one of my children, and just be present to embrace when things do really gel. So it might not be the birthday party that I slaved over. It might be like our average family dinner on a Tuesday night when we're all just laughing and getting along and having a good time together, and just like seizing that moment, or a spontaneous baking session with my daughter. I have a plan for this elaborate cake. That doesn't work out. We end up eating the batter, but we're laughing and having fun and manage to scrap together some treats afterwards for the rest of the family. So just like seizing those moments and not placing my own expectations on the way things will turn out.
Right, right. That's beautiful. I love that. I think, especially when you have kids who are tweens and teenagers, you get to hang out with them as though, you're friends and share a laugh and share in these moments. And it's great to be able to have that family dynamic. I'm looking forward to that myself.
Yeah, I think as they get older and more independent, they're really developing into real people with their own points of view. And just being with them and kind of discovering who they are is really a joy.
Wow, that's exciting. So can you tell us about a moment in time where you trusted your mom sense?
Looking back, I would say my son, when he just started elementary school here in LA, I encountered a lot of families who were much more programmed than we were, and starting even kindergarten, they had reading tutors and sports coaches and extra language classes and things like that. And I think there's this element of kind of wanting your kid to keep up with the Joneses and keep up with his peers. But at the same time, whenever I try to do those things, that level of structure just didn't feel right for our family. And the moments that felt more comfortable for us were like the Friday night dinners, the family hikes, reading together at night. Like that was where we connected and just felt ourselves. So I, at that point, really pulled back from that level of structure. That just wasn't my parenting style. And I focused on kind of introducing my kids to different things and letting them guide the way. And I think for us, that's led to a much more harmonious home.
Wow, that's wonderful. I love to hear that.
Let's not forget our quote of the day.
Do you have a quote that you live by?
Yes. My kids know my favorite person, my favorite being, I guess, is Yoda. And Yoda said, "Do or do not, there is no try." If you invite someone over and they say, "Yeah, I'll try to stop by," that's like they're out. Like trying is kind of a no. You're either going to do it or you're not. So I say that to my family all the time, and I love that quote.
Yes, I love it. It's so simple, but it just gets right to the point where you have the volition to do something or you don't.
It's now time for Mom Haul, when we share products we love.
This is a fun segment where you can go over a product that you're loving that has helped you in some way. It could be beauty, wellness, parenting, really anything. So please do share if you have one.
Well, I love the Calm app, which isn't such a new thing. I know it's been around for a while, but I actually just downloaded it kind of at the beginning of this whole quarantine thing. I was feeling a lot of anxiety. I was having trouble sleeping, and I started meditating with it. And they have these bedtime stories that help you fall asleep, and they have bedtime stories for kids. So I think it's like a great thing for all of us to just, 10 minutes here and there to just breathe and introduce some calm and sanity into our lives. It's just like a really simple thing, and it has a little something for everyone. So I like that a lot.
And do you find that you make it a point to meditate or take time to reset every day?
I have been. Yeah, I have a new kind of routine now that we've been home. I get up, the first thing I do, even before brushing my teeth, is I just turn on the Calm app, and I've been meditating for it kind of varies, 10 to 15 minutes. And then I proceed with my day, and I go for my walk, and I walk my dog, and it's like a really nice routine. It just kind of sets my day off on the right tone.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think, that's so important to do. And, as much as we think that self-care can be this impeding thing that you have to do, where it's got to get the workout in and Peloton or whatever it may be, 10 minutes to kick off your day isn't much. And it's it definitely sets you up for a higher level of thinking throughout the day.
Yeah, it's so important to get, for me at least, to get things started on the right foot, for sure.
Yeah. So where can my audience find you and Stryke Club?
Mostly on Instagram at stacyblackman.com, STACY. And Stryke Club is also Instagram at Stryke Club. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and our website. Most importantly, check out the products on our website, strykeclub.com. And it's Stryke with a Y, STRYKE club.com.
Awesome. Stacy, I cannot thank you enough for being on the show and sharing your journey through entrepreneurship and motherhood, and now your most recent venture, Stryke Club. You're really helping parents help teenagers and boys and girls alike build their self-confidence and self-esteem from the inside out.
That's the plan, and we feel like we're really making progress. And thank you so much. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. I love what you're doing. As I told you before we started, I think you're a complete powerhouse. So I enjoyed getting to know you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you got some great takeaways from my chat with Stacy Blackman. She is so accomplished in several industries, and as a mom, she found co-founders who together want to take on the gap in the market, boys skincare. And she's truly going to be helping teens who are suffering from acne in such a big way, building their self-esteem from the inside out. I now want to share a review that I read on Stitcher, and it's so sweet. It was written by Sophia D., and she writes, Kanika's spot-on questions combined with her remarkable guest stories and valuable advice make That's Total Mom Sense one, if not the most enjoyable podcast on parenting. Thank you so much, Sophia, for the 5 stars and such a beautiful review. I appreciate your feedback, and I'm sure you're listening right now, so I want to say how grateful I am. Thank you. Tune in to other episodes and browse my YouTube videos and blog posts on my website, that'stotalmomsense.com, and follow me on Instagram at Kanika Chadda Gupta. And remember, always trust your mom sense. Stay strong, supermamas. Bye.
That's Total Mom Sense.